Dude, you can't do any better than a food truck taco. I mean, that is eating right there.
There are definitely some risks and rewards when it comes to the unsuspecting food that you'll encounter from a food truck. You
I
gotta be
tell you,
careful.
we got a bunch of them here in Rockford, a bunch of food trucks, and we have a bunch of taco food trucks, and they're all delicious. We're really lucky in Rockford.
Well, that is cool. A lot of places, the pub and grubs that we go to for the pub and grub comedy tour, they also do their food trucks in the summertime, and this is that time of year that stuff starts picking up.
Very, very cool. And I mean, all the places you go to, they probably have Taco Tuesday, Fish Fry Friday, and all that kind of fun bar promotion.
Oh, 100%. And the ones that are good at it are really, really good at it. And I love me some street food. You don't have to try to awkwardly balance a burger on a paper plate and find a place to sit. You can just chow down right there on the sidewalk like a boss. But, Double T, not all food trucks are created equal.
Oh, no way. They are not. When you're hitting a food truck, what's your go-to?
Well, I'll say definitely what you want to look for is if the type that is ran by someone who has maybe a legit pub and grub or a restaurant. You definitely want to avoid those that look like they're being ran by a hippie with a hot plate and a dream.
What, you got something against the groovy grilled cheese from Dead Shows?
No, I'm just saying nothing can ruin your day. You make one wrong choice, you end up with food poisoning.
Yeah, you do have to be very, very careful. If you see something that looks a little sketchy and doesn't actually look like a food truck, just looks like some random guy in a trailer, yeah, you might want to avoid that one.
Yeah, dude, I've seen food trucks parked next to dumpsters and serving food with no gloves. Yeah, you go to some of these street fairs, it's like the Wild West, but with germs instead of guns.
Yeah, I mean, all you need to do is put up a couple of tents and throw in a local cover band and a couple of food trucks, and you got yourself a festival.
Oh, 100%. And let me tell you something, Double T. There's nothing like doing stand-up comedy at one of these street festivals as well.
Have you done stand-up at a street festival?
Oh, dude, way back in the day. You know me. I've told tons of stories. We've done comedy in all sorts of situations. You never know what kind of audience you're going to get at a street festival. It could be rowdy college drunk students. It could be a family with young children. It could be just a bunch of elderly folks strolling through looking for a good time. They're always unsuspecting of someone like me.
Yeah, you look like it's like a regular guy. Yeah, come up, maybe tell some jokes. But then when you unleash your humor, you better cover the ears of the little ones because they're not going to want to repeat any of that stuff.
No, absolutely not. And, back in the day, those were the perfect opportunities to maybe even get some gigs, Back in the day, you didn't know who might see you perform. And I actually landed a few gigs from people who saw me doing street performance.
Where would you rank that, a street performance in the world of comedy? Obviously there's like open mics and bar and all that, but where does a street comedy show come in?
Well, I would say it ranks in tops in terms of learning opportunity.
Okay.
In terms of career trajectory, towards the bottom.
But if you're just starting out, it's a good place to begin, right?
100%. First of all, you got to deal with distractions left and right. We already talked about the vendors selling food. You've got people doing interpretive dance routines. You've got some dude playing a didgeridoo. I'm doing a show one time. This guy in a chicken suit walks right up to me onto the stage, just starts clucking at me and flapping his wings like he's trying to take off.
Did you guys go on the road together or what?
Well, it was like I had a new opening act. You just got to start riffing on that stuff. The crowd eats it up, and then that's when you learn to be prepared for anything.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
So you don't know what's going to happen when you're performing at a street fest. Because, yeah, you're right. There are so many different things going on. Is it hard to, because obviously there's going to be some core people there watching the show. They want to see some comedy. But is there a key to kind of bringing it together? Because in a club or a room, it's easy to kind of corral everybody and get their attention. But in a situation like that, it's got to be difficult.
It's absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. You have to actually learn how to corral the crowd first, bring them over, build the audience, because the worst thing that you can be doing, which this was a mistake that I had made early on when I was first starting out, this is when I'm 19 and I'm doing shows out on the streets just for unsuspecting passerby. It's like they're being ambushed, and instead you have to do the shout 'em up. And that's what I learned from doing the Comedy Wild West show. We had to do comedy 5 times a day out on the street. Now, you had to shout the crowd up. You had to let them know this is about what you're going to see and make that part fun and exciting. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're just telling jokes that half the time people walk away before they even hear the punchline, or a group of drummers shows up and people can't hear the setup.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something you want to do on a regular basis, that's for sure.
No, it's like I said, ranks high on the learning curve. If you're first starting out and you want a place to learn how to get good quick, you get good at performing on the street, you get good at street performing. It doesn't necessarily mean just doing stand-up. You can do anything just to learn how to keep the audience's attention. But I'll tell you something else, Double T. It gets a little bit old after a while trying to deal with vendors selling homemade jewelry and fried pickles, performers juggling fire, kids running around with balloons. Here's the craziest thing that ever happened to me doing a street show. I was actually doing stand-up, and I introduced myself as J-Dog. As soon as I said the word dog, a giant Doberman just appears out of nowhere, starts barking at me like crazy. The audience is in hysterics, and as I'm about to say something else to sort of deal with it, the dog jumps up on me and just starts dry humping the crap out of me.
And this is the only place you're going to hear something like that. Bar Comedy USA News with comedian J-Dog. J-Dog, what's coming up? Where can people find you?
Hey, what's coming up? We've got a lot of fun shows happening this weekend for a Mother's Day, actually. It's a good time to go out and see some live comedy. So in your neck of the woods, the closest that the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour will be is this Sunday, the 14th, in Varna at the Bullseye Bar and Grill out there in the nooks and crannies of America. And otherwise, go to barcomictix.com and you can see where else we'll be coming to your area soon.
Very, very cool. Before I let you go, J-Dog, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. That was yesterday, right?
That's right. And as a matter of fact, you're lucky that you're even able to get me on the air today. And I was able to do this bit, nursing a hangover.
Well, you sounded pretty good, so I'm impressed, J-Dog. You're a professional.
Oh, that's right, man. I'm surviving on street vendor food.
It's Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle. Thanks, man.
Yeah, that was fun, Double T.